In the heart of 1960s California, where flower power bloomed and free love reigned, a much darker force crept through the shadows. He wore no mask, no known face. He spoke in puzzles, symbols, and blood. And for decades, the world has asked, who was the Zodiac killer? He was more than just a killer. He was a ghost haunting an entire generation. He didn't just murder. He watched, he wrote, he laughed, and most chilling of all, he might have been someone walking right past you. It began with a date that was supposed to be beautiful. Young lovers. David Faraday, just 17. Betty Lou Jensen, 16. A quiet stretch of road away from the world. Fireworks echoed in the distance. But then, headlights, a car pulling up behind them. A shadow stepped out, and without a word. Gunshots shattered the silence. Betty Lou would run, but she wouldn't make it far. David, shot in the head at close range. It was quick, cold, no witnesses, no clear motive. The police didn't know it yet, but the Zodiac had just taken his first known victims. A month later, letters began arriving. Not just letters, threats. Ciphers, written in a twisted blend of military code and obsession. "This is the Zodiac speaking," what he wrote. He demanded his cryptic message be printed in newspapers, or he'd kill again. He signed his letters with a strange circle and cross, like a rifle's crosshair. The game had begun. His next attack would be just as brutal. Darlene Ferrin and Mike Mageau were parked in a lover's lane when they were ambushed. Bullets again. Mike survived, and barely, and described the attacker. Heavy-set, short curly hair, military-style boots. Calm, robotic. The Zodiac himself would later call the police. No fear, no shame, just coldness. "I did it," he said. "I killed them." Asterisk. The San Francisco Police Department was flooded with tips. The FBI got involved. Psychologists tried to profile him. Was he ex-military, a disgruntled genius, a loner? Meanwhile, the Zodiac kept writing. His letters mocked police. He referenced obscure films, ancient symbols. He wanted fame, and he got it. But behind the headlines were families. She shattered. Betty Lou never went to prom. Darlene never held her child again. Cecilia Shepard, stabbed dozens of times near Lake Berryessa while her boyfriend lay helplessly bound, never got to finish college. These weren't just names in a case file. They were dreams, futures, people who laughed, loved, and lived. And the Zodiac stole them. In October 1970, the Zodiac sent what became known as the Halloween letter. And it ended with a chilling line. "Paradise awaits those I have killed. Asterisk. No remorse, only riddles." He said he killed 37 people, but only 5 were confirmed. Was he exaggerating? Or was he far more prolific than anyone ever realized? In 2020, a group of amateur cryptologists finally cracked one of the Zodiac ciphers, one that had gone unsolved for over 50 years. It read, "I hope you are having lots of fun in trying to catch me. I am not afraid of the gas chamber." Asterisk, even decades later, he was taunting us. Hundreds of suspects were investigated. Some came close. Arthur Lee Allen, a man with all the right red flags, was long considered the prime suspect, but DNA tests decades later failed to link him to the crimes. In 2021, a group of private investigators claimed the Zodiac was a man named Gary Francis Post, a military veteran with a dark past. The evidence was circumstantial, the debate still ongoing. Even in death, if the Zodiac keeps his secrets. Time has moved on, the city has changed, but the scars remain. Ask anyone who lived through the Zodiac years. The fear wasn't just in the murders, it was in the silence, the waiting, the feeling that anyone Juan could be next, that the man in line at the grocery store or the stranger on the bus might be the killer. The victims of the Zodiac are more than footnotes in a mystery. They were people who mattered, And as long as this case remains open, as long as there's one person who remembers their names, the Zodiac doesn't win. He called himself the Zodiac. He wanted to be eternal, but maybe, just maybe, his time is finally running out. In memory of David Faraday, Betty Lou Jensen, Darlene Ferrin, Cecilia Shepard, and Paul Stein. Justice may be delayed, but never forgotten. If this story moved you, subscribe for more unsolved mysteries and haunting history. And always remember, behind every case is a real human story.